Hi, folks. This is Rick Doc Walker, the DOC.
This is John Kime, and you're listening to the Mess Hall with Rally Captain and Tailgate Ted.
What's going on, Rally? Finally, the games are going to start to count, man.
That's what I was just about to say. I can tell you what's going on. Football fever is truly back. No more preseason, no more practices, no more, at least for the fans to see, anything like that. It's time for the rubber to meet the road and the pads start to clash where it counts. And that's what people want to see. And that's what I'm happy about right now.
I'm right there with you, man. I didn't watch the first preseason game. I didn't watch the last preseason game, right? I watched the second one because we were there, but then I also walked around the concourse, so I didn't really get a chance to catch the entire thing. The Commanders haven't sent out the NFL Plus season ticket holder discount. Have you gotten yours yet?
You mean as far as watching the on television?
Yeah. So we always
I did get that.
You did? You got yours?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten mine, man. So
and I can tell you what I did with it, and maybe I need to go back to my tray. I deleted it because I'm like, well, I don't have a need for this. I'm at the games, home or away, so
that's true. You don't need it. I haven't got it yet. So that while we're doing this, I'm going to text someone over there and say, hey, I haven't gotten my NFL Plus yet. So because I typically go back and just watch the coach's film, and I haven't had a chance to. So it's like, you know what? That first preseason game was horrible, right? You were there live.
Well, I don't have to go back over that.
Yeah, that last preseason game against the Ravens, I mean, it's just none of the real people that were going to play this upcoming week against the Giants are really going to play.
Watch it. Didn't even watch it.
Sure. I mean, I was actually surprised when you told me you weren't going to the game.
No.
But then again, right, it's just I wasn't there, so I don't blame you. I mean, this past week, I was at the beach. You know, the players all got off. I want to relax because once, man, I don't know about you, but once Monday hit, it's like it just hit me. The season's here. Like,
oh yeah,
damn.
yeah. Well, for me, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's being done behind the scenes that people just don't know about. Obviously, they get to be able just to show up and have a good time, which that's what they're supposed to do. But as far as the FD event side of the house, there's a lot of paperwork that's involved. And so it's no different than you and your tailgate that people, they come and eat, basically. They sign the paper that says the reservation that says they want to come, but they don't know what's behind all the man hours that you slave and stuff like that, and your crew. You know, they come, they see the food's ready, and then you get the little name tag and off they go and eat. But I've seen you behind the scenes, so I know what's involved. So no one's really seen me behind the scenes, but I can imagine what you go through, so you can possibly imagine what I go through as well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm getting people reaching out to me about, you know, what's going on with rallies. And it's like, I'm not the rally captain, so I don't know. But maybe because they know you, I know you and everything else. That's why they're reaching out to me. I get people asking me about Spain. I'm like, I get people sending me like paragraphs saying, hey, I know the RSVP doesn't open up until 10 days prior, but I'm coming in December. Can you open it up for me right now? Like, it's just, and the answer is no, right? I treat everybody the same unless you are family. Like, it's different. Like if you asked me because you got some people coming to town that wanted it, but no offense to other people, I get it. I got to treat everybody the same, right? It opens up 10 days prior. So 10 days prior was Mrs. Tailgate's birthday, and my email was blowing up, and we are already sold out of spots for the tailgate. So it is what it is.
You know, I'll be making my trek to see you. So,
oh, I know you'll be there. So
I can't wait to see you, man.
Luke's dad, Ed McCaffrey, is going to be joining us at the tailgate.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that, trying to see if I can get Ed on the deep fryer because it's just me cooking this week. Part of my crew, you know, they're all parents. So my boy David, who's always out there cooking beside me, he's got to do some stuff with the kids, so I get it. And my boy Trey won't be there because his son's got something going on. So we got a skeleton crew. That's why we were looking for applications earlier on this year. But, you know, the tailgate's going to happen regardless or not. So the constant is me there. And Hopefully I'll get a chance to breathe. If not, Ed McCaffrey is going to have to put some work in and help me on that deep fryer, maybe flip some burgers or something. But tailgate's happening, and it's going to be a damn good time on Sunday. I'm not looking forward to the 5 o'clock wake up call because this is one of the 3 1 o'clock games that we got at home this year.
That's right. You don't like that. But I
No.
thought you didn't like 4 o'clock games either, though. But okay. I mean,
I was getting used to 4. I
okay.
mean, it's just, I did see that on the call, we've got Brady on the call. So
Interesting.
in the
This would be like
past,
his first game announcing, right?
I mean, because you're at all the away games and I don't listen to the TV feed, I always listen to the radio feed, even if it's an away game at home. I doubt that. I would have to think that he called one of our games for the playoffs, right? I mean, who would have called the Lions game? So I would have to assume that he did it, but Brady is on the announcing team this week. So it's Brady and it is Kevin Burkhardt and Aaron Andrews. So when you're on the sideline hobnobbing, what if Aaron asks you to wear the chain? Should you have to wear the chain?
No.
I mean, but what
And
if you see Brady, does he get to wear it?
he's a player, so
He's the GOAT.
a player can wear it. I deviated and allowed a couple people to wear it, and the results were disastrous. We lost the game basically. So now I realize that, hey, look, I'm going to stick with just players and players only, and
Owners.
And owners, yeah, if they want to put it on, I'll let them put it on. But other than that, no, I can't open that up anymore. We had terrible results.
I mean, I remember when you let Julie wear it, and then I sent her a text message after saying you're bad luck, and she didn't understand what I was talking about. Those that don't know, Julie Donaldson's a good friend of mine, so it's fine.
Yeah.
But I sent her a text message after, said you're bad luck. We lost. She's like, what are you talking about? Then I sent her a picture of her in the chain, and she just started laughing. So, but yeah, please stick to that because, man, some people are worried about this game. I'm trying not to be. We are 6-point favorites against these guys, right? We swept them last year, right? But if y'all remember that first game, it was a game of field goals, right? I don't think we scored a single touchdown. So it's not like we kicked their butt last year. And, obviously since we've been off for the past 2 weeks and we'll go back to our normal schedule now, Terry's back, right? So Terry signed his deal. We didn't have any doubt it was going to happen. It was just a matter of when it was going to happen. And luckily, it happened just in time for him to get a full week's practice this week. So fingers crossed, he'll be good and ready for the Giants game.
Well, I got to tell you, Ted, I am nervous. And I'll tell you why I'm nervous. Our guys really didn't play. And the Giants squad did play. And when they played, it didn't look bad. And I'm not a Giants fan at all. Everybody knows I'm a Commanders fan, but I gotta be real with you. And when they did play, they did look bad. Whereas I didn't see that from our guys. And yes, I know that none of our guys played, and I think that is what's going to hurt us. Them bubble wrapping everyone and not allowing them to truly get some work in. And so, I mean, I think talent wise, we should win. But at the same time, you got that grit behind you. You got something to prove. That can sometimes take over, man. And so
I'm 65% on the nervous side, bro. I really am, just because I haven't seen anything from our offense. I know that we have the pieces there, but I'm just nervous, man, and I don't like being that way.
So CBS Sports did a grade, which is, it sounds kind of ridiculous, but it was who had the best preseason grade, right? Out of A through D, where would you think the Commanders ended up on their preseason grade according to CBS?
The preseason grade? Probably a D.
Pretty damn close. They actually ended up giving us a C minus, which is basically a D to me.
Yeah.
So it says here, no, these games don't count, but it is worth pointing out that Washington went 0-3 in the preseason and was outscored by a total of 71 points. Jaden Daniels only played one drive this summer and didn't even attempt to pass. He did rush for a touchdown. So it's not like the sky is falling. That said, the reserves being dominated in such a way doesn't instill a ton of confidence in Washington's depth. One bright spot has been rookie running back Jacoy Krosky-Merritt, who seems to be the catalyst for the Brian Robinson Jr. trade. The seventh rounder has rushed for 70 yards and a touchdown on 18 carries this preseason and could command a chunk of carries alongside veteran Austin Eckler. Of course, the biggest question on offense is whether or not Terry McLaurin and team ultimately find common ground on the contract. We all know he did. Another thing to file away, Matt Gay missed 2 field goals this preseason, so they don't have a rock-solid kicking situation at the moment. And I'm not going to expect you to know where the Giants are, so I'll just tell you, the Giants got an A, right? And it says here, it's been a while since we were able to say this, but it must feel good to be a New York Giants fan right now. Why? Because it looks like the franchise hit home runs with both of its first-round draft picks. While Abdul Carter was considered to be a day-one contributor off the edge and has backed that up this summer, what has turned heads has been the performance from former Ole Miss quarterback Jackson Dart. The 25th overall pick looked the part of a future franchise quarterback, showing command in the pocket while completing 32 of his 47 passes for 372 yards and 3 TDs over 3 games. It remains to be seen if Dart will find his way atop the depth chart, but New York seems to have a legit quarterback prospect that can begin building even if Russell Wilson, who was solid this preseason, holds down the fort in year 1. So this article was written after the last preseason game. Russ is QB1 for the Giants. Dart is actually QB2 above Jameis Winston. So I did find that kind of surprising that Dart did that well over Jameis. And I'm not surprised that Russ is starting for him, right? You know, let's give the kid a chance to kind of, get his bearings underneath. But what does concern me is, the fact that you said it, our guys didn't really play, right? And we all have watched preseason. Then we go into week 1, we go into week 2, we go into week 3. It still feels like that's preseason. Like the guys don't start to actually shake all that rust off until week 4. And we got a tougher schedule this year. I don't know if we can afford to do that, especially we're going to a short week against the Packers right after this week, which I hate to say it, I'm not going, man. I looked into flights and everything else, and I cannot justify spending $1,000 to get to Green Bay and getting a rental car and a hotel, not even including a game ticket. So I am not going to be in Green Bay with you, but we'll talk about that next week.
All right. Well, I'm sad to hear that because I was looking forward to you going to it. But the other thing I got to tell you, since we're on a low right now and talking about Green Bay, just for a brief second, everyone asking, no, I will not be holding a rally in Green Bay. I am deferring to the team this year. What will the team do? Will the team be the one to step up and start the rallies over again? We'll see. Moving off of that, go ahead.
Well, no, real quick, just to make sure we're clear. You're not doing one in Green Bay, and you're not planning on doing one for away games at all this year.
No.
Okay.
This time, the team says that they understand. They feel that they feel that they're important, but obviously not important enough to take the step forward.
I don't blame you, because like you said, what it takes for me on the back end to do the tailgate, right? Just all the prep and getting everything done. What a lot of people don't know is some of these places are making you put down security deposits for these rallies, and it's just a massive undertaking. You're just one person. I see you and Mrs. Rally, and then a couple of volunteers, handling stuff and doing stuff at the ones that I have been to in the most recent past. And I know that that's got to be taxing and taking on you. So I do hope that the team steps up and does it. And I'm going to make sure that this gets cut up so people know and the team knows what's going on, and they do get a chance to, hopefully fill that void that you successfully filled when they stopped doing it, right? They all stopped around COVID. There were some different things that were going on. I remember you were doing the virtual rallies that I joined a couple of times because they had me doing some cooking things and this and that. And I do know that they have been busy with other stuff, but we're all busy. And it would be great if they did pick up the ball that you're going to have to put down for a minute, hoping that they can carry that rock and do some successful road rallies and pick up really where you succeeded.
Well, I think what's going to happen is the different out of town chapters will be the one to step up. Like I know for a fact that Atlanta is having a rally. They have a huge contingency down there. Shout out to those guys. And I'm assuming that the LA chapter will do their rally again. Anywhere else, I don't know. So someone else may have to step up. But you know, yes, the team did support me as far as giving me swag, but as you said, some of these venues wanted $4,500, and I don't want to get too into the weeds with it,
Yeah.
but just to give you an example, I say, okay, if I give you $4,500, once the bar or once your food eclipses $4,500, do I get any of that money back? And they said no. And so what people and I never would charge for a rally. People actually
Yeah.
told me I should start charging for rallies. And I'm like, no, the team never charged for rallies, but the team had a sponsor. You know, I don't have a sponsor. And so somebody's got to cover that cost for all of these fans to have a good time. And once again, it's the little nuggets behind the scene that you're not supposed to know. You're just supposed to have a good time, but it's time to let it out. And as I've always said, I'm just one person. You know, people say, well, you should have the right. No, what needs to happen is if I complain hypothetically, then that's just one person saying something. But it takes everyone to be able to say, guys, you need to have these rallies. And I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I did a damn good job. And
Definitely did.
people always said that, man, you really did a great job. And when Mr. Rails came to the rally in Tampa, he was shocked. He kept saying, I had no clue. I had no clue. And so now it's a situation where everyone knows now.
Yeah.
Everyone knows. The cat, it's not like we're hiding anything. The cat's out of the bag. And it takes certain things to make things happen, you know, and I don't have the money. I just don't,
It's
you
a
know.
lot to ask of you, man. Right? It's just they're obviously ownership has been making investments in the team, in the facility, in the stadium. Right? They're doing a lot of different things. This is just another one of those investments. Right? And I think it was a new Forbes valuation. They bought the team for 6 billion, six and some change. Right?
Yeah.
And it's valued for more than 7 billion now. So they have technically made $1 billion on that investment, right? And I know a lot of fans are all hyped up about the season ticket member food pricing. We talked about it during last week's pod, right? And I'm getting so many people sending me how much it costs to get a burger at the Raven Stadium, M&T Bank Stadium, and how expensive our beer prices are versus other stadiums and this and that. Like, to me, they've got to make money back somehow. What a lot of people also don't understand is M&T Bank Stadium is also funded partially by Maryland, right? Where Northwest Stadium is not. So they're able to charge less there. I don't know about Mercedes-Benz down in Atlanta. I do know they're very famous for their cheap concessions, right? But
Yes.
I don't know if part of that is also offset funding from, Atlanta or Georgia or whatever it may be. And from my perspective, like if the team wants to make an investment and the brand is going global, right? We're going to Spain. The game is sold out, right? We know so many people are going out there, right? These rallies are a way to continue that growth. And, not speaking for
Mhm.
you, we'll never do that. I just hope that they understand that, hey, bring you on as an employee or do something, but keep this going in some form or fashion because it is something that all of the fan base looks forward to. And like I said when we started, I get so many people asking me, is it happening? And now you just broke the news. It's not.
No, yeah, I can't keep it up. And the thing is, it's bigger than me. And I don't want anybody to say I'm being a sore sport or it really is bigger than me. And I think that as you said, it gives people who are traveling because we have a lot of traveling fans who come to these rallies and games who they want something to do the night prior to the game. I have so many people contacting me saying, "Hey, is there going to be a rally for the home games?" And I tell people we don't have rallies for home games. There's only been one time that we really had a rally, and that was in Baltimore when we played Baltimore last year. But
I thought we did one. You did one at Guy Fieri's place.
that was against Atlanta, what, 3 years ago. And I decided to just try something different
Yeah.
because of the Atlanta fans that were coming into town. And because once again, we have a huge contingency of fans down in Georgia who came up for that game. So it was like a away rally for them, but just at home. So I tried it. It was a great success. But getting back to the whole rally aspect of things, I'm not a sore sport. I want to continue to do it, but I need the backing, and it's just the rally captain.
Yeah.
As I always try to give this little, if you can see this, I'm the rally captain. This is the organization. I don't
No,
mind
there's a
working.
lot. There's a lot
Yeah,
behind the scenes people don't know, right?
yeah.
And
So,
you and I have been chatting with them, and dude, I hate to hear it, but I also get it, and I know fans and people that listen to the podcast will understand that as well. And hey, you can also step up, right? If you guys are in these towns, you can step up. And I did want to talk to you about Spain because I had a bar in Spain reach out to me on X saying, "Hey, if you want to host something here before the game or this other date, let's talk." So maybe we can chat about that. But I am bummed, but I understand, man. And the game is officially sold out. So there are no more tickets from the team for the game. There are no parking passes available for the game. So those of you that are planning to go out, get there early, right? We talked about it last time. The days of you guys strolling in at 11 o'clock and being able to find a parking pass or parking spot, those are gone, right? There are definitely going to be some changes. And I did not get a reply back to my email about the tents and how all that's going to work in week one. So I am curious to see if they're going to make people move those tents or not be able to put them up depending where you are.
mhm.
So FYI, it's all going to be new for a lot of people on Sunday this week coming up. So we're shutting down the tailgate at noon because I want to make sure that I get in early. I don't want to miss
Yeah,
kickoff. And the Washington Gold concessions, in years prior, you could just show them your gold card through the app. Now you actually have to scan the QR code and have that set up ahead of time with a credit
hmm
card on the app. So
yeah.
make sure you all that are season ticket holders or got your ticket from a season ticket holder, set that up ahead of time, or else you're not going to get the up to 50% off on your food and non-alcoholic beverages.
Yeah, that's a good point. And they have, if you're a season ticket member, they have been sending out emails to tell you, hey, know before you go. And this is just one of the ways that the DMV Mess Hall tries to inform you guys, you better get this done because you're going to be embarrassed trying to set it up at the stadium. They're going to kick
Yeah.
you out of the line and move you to the next line or whatever have you to get it done. So do it now. You've got a couple days. Put an alarm on your phone if you can't do it right now. Set an alarm to let you know, hey, look, at whatever time that you can go back to this and revisit it to be able to set this up because you want to save money. This is going to help you save money.
Oh, big time. It drives me crazy that we spend money. Mrs. Tailgate goes to buy food in the concessions, but she knows I don't get a chance to eat when I'm there, right? I'm cooking for a couple hundred people this week, and Logan Sausage is donating half smokes to the tailgate. We got
Nice.
McCaffrey Mustard is going to be donating a bunch of stuff. We're going to be going all out like we usually do. The only thing is, I'm going to save a half smoke for me one way or the other, whether I eat it after the game or figure it out. But she always goes in and buys stuff, and she used to just show her card. Now I'm going to have to download the app to her cell phone so she can then scan the QR code on her phone
Yeah,
because I used to just take a screenshot of my gold card
there
and
you
say,
go.
show this. You can't do that anymore. Right.
No.
So it's a whole thing. And that reminds me, I got to set this up before Sunday. So just more stuff to
Yeah.
add to the checklist. But those of you that are listening, going back to the rally thing, talk to your season ticket reps, right? Reach out to them. let them know that you want something to happen. You want the team to step up and do something, because we know that A, the team listens to this, and B, you guys have voiced your opinions, and it has gotten back to them because they have told me. They heard them talking through us on the show.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
let them know that you're bummed, like I am, like Rally is, that it's not happening right now. But going into, I don't want to say a high note, but going into the actual game itself, right?
Yeah.
Were you surprised by anything on the depth chart? Was anybody cut that you didn't think should have been cut? Was someone higher or lower on the chart that you thought maybe should have been put in a different spot? And then second part of that is, what position group or position are you still worried about heading into this week?
Well, I'll tell you one thing that I was surprised. I was surprised to hear that Austin Eckler is RB1. I mean, that kind of surprised me. And everyone else is going to fall in after him. Uh, but they obviously see things that I don't see, and I don't know. I'm not there, but I guess Austin Eckler, he's put his dues in to be RB1. I think I'm okay with everything simply because I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
If I saw more, I could say, wow, we need some assistance on this over here or that over there. I just didn't see enough to be able to make a conscious, opinion, Ted. I hate to say that because we are one of the more listened to shows, but I, I just didn't see enough to be able to say we need more help over here. I mean, I heard how we bolstered our numbers and the people that we brought in, but I just don't have an opinion because I didn't see it. And I'm sorry to say that. But what about you, man?
So I feel that Eckler was just given RB1 out of respect, because
Okay.
he is the most tenured running back in that room, right? You've got McNichols, who on the unofficial depth chart was number 2, Rodriguez was number 3, and Bill was number 4 on the depth chart. So you had a
Hmm.
bunch of fans that did their fantasy football drafts freaking out that what Bill's 4th, like what's going on? Eckler is not an every down back, right? If
No.
you all watch this podcast, listen to this podcast, you obviously watch a team, Eckler is not running that ball through that hole every single down. It's not going to happen. But I had the wife's cousin lives in Atlanta. I saw him last time we were down there, was texting me, who's our running back going to be? I'm thinking, he's a Vikings fan. Then I realized he's doing his fantasy football draft. That's why he's asking me right now who it's going to be. Right. So I also feel that Eckler was just because of that. Because if you look at the unofficial depth chart, we have 12 players on defense, right? And you obviously can only have 11 starters on defense, but they list Von Miller at outside linebacker with no one behind him. So I also feel that that was kind of out of respect. I was surprised to see Deebo Samuel as our number 1 kick returner, right?
Hmm.
And I feel that I don't
Huh.
want Deebo back there. I know that kick returns aren't as intense because they've changed the rules, right? They're not taking those massive hits like
Yeah.
people used to back in the day. But Eckler got knocked out on a kick return last year, right?
Oh, that kick return. Yeah.
And the last thing we need is Deebo to get knocked out to get Deebo'd on a kick return. So I'm not okay with. And once again, this is unofficial. Who knows what's going to happen on Sunday? I would rather have McNichols and McCaffrey back there doing kick returns than having Deebo back there, because if this offense is really going to build what we did last year, we need Terry to have another wide receiver beside him. And no offense to Luke McCaffrey or Noah Brown or Jalen Lane, but they ain't Deebo. And we need to make sure that Deebo is good to go for week 1 all the way up to week 18.
I totally agree with you on that. Because if he gets wiped out, it's all for naught. And we always talk about next man up, but I don't see anyone who can replace any of these guys. So we need to bubble wrap him on kickoffs. How about that?
Well, that's the problem, right? Next man up. The next man up was the preseason, and our next man up got their ass kicked, right?
Yeah.
So it is a little worrisome, but yes, you're not game planning for the other team. You're going all vanilla. You're not trying to show anything, even though they did do that jet sweep with Deebo. but
Mhm.
I feel that that was on purpose to try and keep, people thinking about this is going to happen. But the position
Mhm.
that concerns me is kicker, right? This
Hmm.
Matt Gay, and this wasn't from the games, but just hearing, Ben Standing, hearing John Keim, Nikki Javala, all the beat reporters that were out at practice, hearing how Gay just didn't look good once it was, 50 and out. And there were some shorter ones that he was just missing and pulling left, right? And we have just had too many kicking problems. And we had a lot of games last year that came down to the wire. I mean, Tampa Bay, the freaking doink that
Yeah.
moved us on to now Detroit, right? We need someone that's solid back there. And I am definitely not comfortable if Gay is coming out there and lining up to drill, anything more than, a 5-10 yarder.
Well, I didn't like what I saw, but obviously, I'm always thinking this way. They know something that we don't know. And so, did they all put all the eggs in one basket, or are they looking at trying out other kickers? Because I haven't heard any other kickers in camp. So obviously, they feel that they have their guy.
Yeah, they're not bringing in any other kickers, to my knowledge. I mean, it would have been reported. They did bring in another wide receiver to try out. Nothing happened there. It's Wednesday the 3rd when we're recording this, so something might change by the time you guys listen to this. But did you have any concerns, or do you have any concerns just because Terry just signed, right? He got practice in last week, but the team had off through the weekend. Any worries about him being ready to go for week 1?
No, I don't. Terry's a true professional from everything that we've seen from the day he stepped foot and became a Redskin slash Washington football team slash commander. So he's a true professional. He knows what it takes. Um, Hate that the whole contract thing had to go through it the way he did, but hey, man, that's life and that's negotiations and how it plays out. So I think that he's going to be ready. It's pretty much the same offense as last year, so he knows where he needs to be at when he needs to be there. So I'm okay with that. I really am. What concerns me, since we're talking about concerns, is will Bill be able to pick up a blitz
Yeah.
when it's his time to come in because he's a true rook. That's what one of the things that concern me. He's on the hot seat, if you will, and now the game's on the line, and they send two people. Will he know what to do? That's my biggest concern, and it's nothing against him. It's just if you haven't done it before, or you haven't done it at this level before, how about that? It's going to be difficult
Oh,
because these
definitely.
guys, these guys dial up. These defensive guys, they dial up stuff because they know how to confuse you. So that's my biggest thing. And so my fingers are crossed that they are giving him all of the reps that he needs when he does come in, that he can take care of the situation at hand.
That was my concern with trading B Rob, right? You knew what you got with him. He could carry the ball. He didn't have the breakaway home run speed, but he was consistent, right? He could pick up a blitz. He can
Hmm.
run out in the flat and leak out and catch a ball with his hands. I haven't seen that yet, but obviously, like you said before, they have seen what they want to see. And maybe in practice, he's picking them up no problem. And he's catching those balls in the flat and this and that because we can't be there. We only had so many open practices for the fans, right? And he wasn't running with the ones when you and I were out there. So I'm sure he's good. But to me, it's the disguised blitzes, right? When you got a guy coming up and then he backs off, and next thing you know, it's coming from a different angle. Can he get back over there in time? And that's where, you have Jaden who's doing the VR goggles on 1.5 or 2x speed that he's trying to recognize that. But best believe defensive coordinators are going to be throwing new stuff at him, right? They know that he has all this. And that's the only thing that concerns me about week 1, right? I remember last year doing a survivor pool and I lost week 1 because I took the Bengals. I didn't think the Bengals were going to lose in week 1 against who the hell they played, right? You just don't know what coaches are going to dial up. Like none of us knew that Terry was going to be Terry the first game that he played. I think it was against Philly, right?
Hmm.
As Redskin, because they kept everything a secret, right? No one knew. Everyone thought he was just going to be a special team star. So you just don't know what to expect at that point. And the reporters are not allowed to be there the entire practice anymore. That stopped after that Ravens game. So there's going to be a lot of mystery heading into this week.
And that's what gives me my 65%. But I I will root for the home team the way I've always done for all these years. So nothing has changed. I'm just I'm preparing for the worst. How about that? Because no matter what anybody says, the Giants always play us hard. They're in our division, and they always, always, always play us hard. And so I don't see Sunday being any different.
No, I mean, we're giving up 6, right? If you guys remember, we played Russ last year. Russ beat us
Yeah.
last year when he was on
Yep.
the Steelers. He was
Hmm.
14 for 28, a buck 95, 3 touchdowns and a pick, but he had the go-ahead touchdown, 32-yard touchdown with 2 minutes left in the game, a little over 2 minutes left in the game. They beat us 28-27. I mean, that was just crushing. And he's got that stupid moon ball, right? He's not the same dangerous with his legs, can't do all that, but they picked up Scatterboo. They've got some weapons. Neighbors last year was torching us, right? The guy had his target. So it's not going to be your regular old Giants having to worry about Daniel Jones back there. They've got some more weapons. They've got a good defensive front. And this is actually DQ talking about that Giants defense.
Dan, you're a defensive line guy. What stands out about the Giants defensive front?
A lot. And I think the speed, I really am impressed by that. I like the action. I like, their investment into that group. They've got, Dexter, who's got great size and power, and they got speed out on the edges. So I think probably the combination of the two is what I like about them. When you have 3 jets that you can use in different spots, you can try to create matchups to do that. And so I sense that's where they're headed, but it's a really strong group.
So on the unofficial depth chart, you've got a rookie starting at right tackle with Josh Connerly, right? At right guard, because Cosme's still on PUP, he's going to be gone at least until week 4, coming back from that injury he suffered in the Lions game. You either have Allegretti or Wiley at right guard, right? And then you've got Coleman at left guard, which I'm fine with. Left tackle, you got Tunsil. So you feel good there. You got Badass at center, but you got a rookie at right tackle. The Giants improved their defensive line. Okay, we've got Thibodeau, who gave us problems, right? They're no slouches up there. So you go back to talking about, can Bill pick up a blitz, right? Is Connerly going to be able to do what he needs to do? It's more than just jumping up from your knees in grass and being able to backpedal. Right? So, I'm sure he's going to be prepared, but it's live now, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
At a sold out stadium and all these fans yelling and screaming. Luckily, it's home field and we will have a home field advantage, unlike years in the past, right? We got a chance to beat the Giants for 3 times in a row for the first time, I think they said since 2000, right? We haven't beat them 3 games in a row since then. If I go back, looking to win 3 straight games since 1998 to 2000. But we have won 4 of our last 5 home openers dating back to 2020. So it's good news. All I'm saying is it's not the same Giants that were 30th in offense last year.
Yeah.
And it's not the same Giants that were 23rd in defense, right? So don't sleep on them like this is just going to be a cakewalk, because it's week 1 and it's never a cakewalk.
No, it's never a cakewalk. And once again, as I said, I feel as though they may even have the upper hand because they played their guys. And I saw them play. And when I saw them play, I said, dang, they look good. That's what I saw. But we know that the Bengals decided not to bubble wrap their guys, and they played them for what? 2 out of the 3 preseason, almost all 3 preseason games. The Bengals said, we're not going to start off slow like we've done because they didn't start their guys. It's just the evolution of football. I mean, you got to play to be able to be good. So this will be I will be looking at this kind of really close, man, closer than what I really want to.
I'm right there with you. And I didn't want to put a bet in on the game because I don't like the 6-point spread. Right? I don't care. As long as we win, that's all that matters to me.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I'm not even going to
I
bother.
won. Yeah,
Yeah.
by half a point. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I could care less, right? You know, even if it's Gay in the last second, you know, kicking the game-winning field goal. Now we'll reevaluate that going into the Packers game, but right now let's just focus on New York
Mhm.
and building on last season. Obviously, we were 60 minutes away from the Super Bowl, right? We were one of 4 teams left with a chance to actually go win a Lombardi. We know how that worked out. Where do you think the Commanders are on the Week 1 power rankings in the NFL?
I'm gonna
Plus
say
or
within,
minus 2.
I'm gonna say within the top 10. I'll say 8.
Is that your final?
That's my final answer.
So the Commanders are 8 on here.
And I got my Powerball ticket too, so I'm feeling lucky.
So I told you how I went to the beach. On the way back, we stopped at several gas stations to try and spread the love out through different counties. I don't want
Yeah.
to all buy it in one. My boy Wisdom Martin told me that from Channel 9. Granted, he's never won, so it could be false logic. But, you know, fingers crossed. I think it's up to 1.3 billion right now. So if you guys are listening to this, go out and get yours. And if you win, you got to give us a little something, something.
Just a little bit.
But it says here, I am in no way punting on the ascending Commanders, whose long-term future appears almost as bright as any franchises. Don't forget, I was higher on them than some other folks were at this time last year, way before it was cool. But I also think taking the proverbial next step won't be as natural or smooth a progression as everyone wants it to be. The beautiful thing about Jaden Daniels is that he's already capable of covering up his team's missteps with his own play, and that alone will win Washington some games. The addition of Laramie Tunsil, Deebo Samuel can't hurt. Rookies such as Josh Connolly Jr., Troy Amos, and Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt are wild cards whose potential value can't be ignored. Yet I'm still a bit leery about the true ceiling of the defense, unless the pass rush and secondary make big strides. So 8's not bad, right? We were, should be top 4 based upon the fact that, we were one of the top 4 teams left in the race. That's just not how it works. Above us, they've got the Bucks at 7. They got the Packers at 6, the Lions at 5, the Chiefs at 4, the Bills at 3, the Ravens at 2, and unfortunately the Eagles at 1. So I'm not surprised with that. But it's not going to be like last year, man. Teams were sleeping on us last year for a while. Now, no one's going to be sleeping on us. I think we were favored or are favored in 12 of the games we played this season. So
Well, not only that, Ted, but last year the guys played. Last year guys played in preseason, and we were like, oh man, we don't know what to expect. But the maturation of it all helped them, I believe. Now nobody played.
yeah,
So I'm once again, I'm nervous. I'm not going to continue to say it, but last year no one knew what we had because we had a rookie quarterback who we heard he was good, but then he put it down to where he was good, and he's still good, and like the article said, he possibly may mask some of the deficiencies that we have, but I don't want to put him in harm's way either. But oh man, I maybe I'm worrying for nothing.
I don't
I
think
don't
it's
know.
nothing, man. I just think it's like we don't know what to expect because it is just a lot of unknowns with the fact that the guys didn't play. We did a show after that the second preseason game where Jaden didn't throw a single pass, right? He
Mhm.
attempted a pass and then scrambled and just scored with his feet, but never actually threw the ball. I'm not worried about Jaden throwing the ball. I'm not worried about him at all. What I don't want is Jaden to have to be Superman because the defense is behind. The defense is still rusty, right? What I don't want is Jaden to have to be Superman because Connerly at right tackle as a rookie just isn't there yet, right? Because he didn't get the reps that he needed, right? Coleman's coming off of an injury, right? What I don't want to
Mhm.
have to worry about is Terry going to be 100%? And this is actually what DQ had to say about Coleman and Terry's health.
With the guys that returned last week, Terry, Noah, I know Brandon played in the last preseason game, but just in his return too. Do you expect them to be, full go on Sunday? Do you expect them to have any limitations?
Yeah, right now we'll go a full week of practice with them, and so Brandon and Terry is about as full, as they can get into this spot. The workloads, what we've hit on with them, so they'll get their normal amount, of practice and going into that. But yeah, they're both doing, really strong in that way.
So the injury report's out, right? Good news is Coleman and Terry aren't on it. Zach Ertz is on there for a non-injury rest day, right? Dorrance Armstrong with a knee limited. Noah Brown, knee limited. Jonathan Jones, hamstring limited. Matt Gay, illness, full participant. And Mariota, Achilles, full participant. So knowing that they participated full, there were no issues, they weren't slowing down, makes me happy, right? And it is another year in Kingsbury's system. So, a route tree is a route tree is a route tree. Terry knows his route tree, and Jada knows how to get him the ball. It's just the other guys that I'm concerned about. And DQ talked about Mamba time, right? And you know what? Let him explain Mamba time.
Warren, Coach, you referenced during the final training camp practice Mamba time. Is that a phrase that comes from you? Is that comes from the players? And what is Mamba time?
Sure. It is a specific game management time. So, yeah, we don't want to be in it very often, but you'd be down by more than one score. And so how do you get back in the fight quickly and then kick a field goal or try to get points before a certain time threshold, so then you don't have to rely on, at the end of the game, a score and an onside kick. So say you're down by 9 points, there might be a time at 2:50 that you want to go kick the field goal, kick it off, play defense, get it back. So it's a strategy that we have to put ourselves through. I think early on in my coach career, I didn't want to talk about, 4-minute or losing or Mamba time, but the hell with that. That's going to happen. And you want to find ways to go fight and be ready for it. But it was a term that we had come up with last year. I think it was Baltimore. We were in the space like that, kicked a field goal to the end. And so I think so many times we've all seen the offense keep trying to go down and score, and then there's 30 seconds left, the onside kick. We know the percentages aren't so good for that. So we just said that sometimes you may have to fight to get a score before the time threshold takes a hold of you. So that's what Mamba time is.
And that's what just makes me wonder, are we going to have that because they're still knocking off the rust? Right. And that's what I'm hoping we don't have to worry about, because that's when Jaden puts on the cape. And he does more than he should, but he actually has to pick up the slack, because we're down by, 9. We're down by 10, and we got to do something unnatural. Or, we're constantly going for it on 4th down because we got a kicker that hasn't been consistent. So I'm just hoping the rest of the team makes it easier on 5 than they did toward the last part of last season.
Yeah, because we don't need any broken ribs or fractured ribs and taping a man up in between plays. No. We don't. We don't need that. So
especially not in week 1, where we got a long road ahead of us with a short week going to Green Bay.
Yeah,
and it is nice you get a little mini bye week, but it'll be week 3. I mean, granted, I'm sure the players will enjoy that and they get to rest and relax, but it'll be week 3. I get to, relax a little bit before I got to get ready for that Raiders tailgate, which I'm debating. Do I do Vegas food? Do I do Oakland food? I don't know. I got to figure that out.
Mixture of both. Mixture of both.
Because I think of Vegas, I think of just like gold leafs on top of, sundaes and caviar, and we ain't doing that.
No.
I
was about to say, okay, let me get my pinky in the air, Ted. I don't know if you want that at a tailgate.
Zero chance. Well, I'll do some chicken nuggets with some like gold barbecue sauce or something. That'll be the extent of it. But
the mumbo sauce.
Definitely some mumbo sauce. We're going to have some mumbo sauce this weekend with some of the half smokes. But
nice.
For you, who has to step up? Obviously not counting Jaden, but who has to have a good game for us to just walk out of there and go to Green Bay 1-0?
I'm going to say our linebacking core. I'm going to say our edge rushers and linebackers have to be able to keep Russell where they need him and to check their tight ends coming out of the backfield. I'm a strong believer that our defensive end and our linebackers have got to be able to put that work in. From what I'm hearing, the secondary seems to be tight, but once again, the Giants play us tough, and they will figure out ways to try to offset our strengths. And I just see the running back creeping out and somebody has to be able to cover that tight end as well as that running back creeping out. So I'm looking for my linebackers to step up the way that they've always done to stop these guys and to put that spy on Russell. Like you say, he's not as fast as he used to. He still stays in the pocket, but he still has the ability to be able to get outside and scamper for a couple of yards.
Yeah,
What about
if
you?
he needs to get a first down, he can definitely use his legs to do it. Right?
Oh yeah.
Or it's more so buying time to make that extra throw to make, let his receiver get open. But for me, it's our secondary, right? I gotta believe that Lattimore is okay. Right. We didn't hear anything, but also we didn't see anything during preseason. So I hate to go back to that, but it is what it is. Right. Then we've got Amos, who is going to be starting opposite him, who is a rookie. And then we got Sanders still, who's going to be there, who is his second year. What concerns me is shutting down Malik. Malik is 19 for 186 yards against us. If you think someone has 19 catches against a team, how many games do you think that they have played against them?
I'd say 3, 2 to 3.
He played 2 games against us. In week 1, he was 10 for 18. 10 receptions, targeted 18 times for 127 yards. And in week 2, he was targeted 11 times and caught 9 of them, right? I mean, they cut his yardage down big time in week 2, but they obviously feed him the ball. They make him a priority for that offense. And Russ loves that moon ball. Right?
Oh, yeah.
So we got to figure out a way to make sure that Neighbors does not get hot against us. And that just goes back to that secondary being ready. The guy had, as a rookie, 109 catches last year. Right? I mean, that's a rookie season, 109 catches. He's no slouch. So we just got to make sure that the secondary does what they need to do, and we're good to go. I mean, I think I know where you're going on Sunday, right? I think you got us winning. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Okay.
But,
I do have us winning. I have us winning by not a blowout, but a close one, if you will, closer than what I would like for it to be. How about that? I'm not going to say a field goal, but I'll say within 10 points. And that to me, that's a little closer than what I want it to be. Especially, I know what Russell Wilson can do because he did it against us as a Pittsburgh Steeler. It was toward the end of the game, and he threw that moon ball up, and I mean, just canceled our hopes and dreams. And so, I mean, we made some mistakes in that game, but once again, it's our first game, but as well it's their first game as well. So we're just gonna see, man, and I will be ready. I'll be yelling. I'm probably gonna lose my voice because it's not in yelling shape that it should be. But
you're still in
hey,
preseason shape.
yeah, exactly. My body's still in preseason shape, so I will have my watch on to let me know how many steps, how far I walked, so everybody's interested to know about that. And just so you know, I will be starting off in the red zone lot and making my way around to at least 10 tailgates. So we're looking at probably 2 to 3 miles walking.
There you go. So you have to start bringing like a knapsack with you so you can start putting food in there as you're walking around. You can kind of snack on it while you're moving.
I need to be light though, bro. That's the thing about it.
I do. Remember, I don't think you've ever seen my cooler scooter.
Yes.
Right? So
yes.
I can just get you a cooler scooter, man. You can just start putting stuff in the scooter.
But the problem with that is I got to take it back to my car. So a lot of times when I'm finishing my trek, I'm walking right into the stadium from there. So that's the only issue because I thought about it. I was like, you know what, this would be a no-brainer, but you got to be able to secure it someplace, and so that's my only issue. But I definitely have thought about it.
Well, park it at my tailgate on your way in. I don't know where your last stop is. I feel like I'm not your last stop.
No, yeah. I'm going all the way down to the RV lot, the bus lot. Yeah.
That's a hike, man. That is a hike. But
trust
good for
me,
you.
I know.
I drove by the other day just to kind of check the old girl out. But yeah, just see how it goes. I think we're winning on Sunday, right? I don't know if we're covering 6. I don't really like that spread. I think it's going to be, probably a little less than that.
Mm-hmm.
But all that matters is that dub. And I get to light up a victory cigar in the parking lot. I stocked up. I bought some new ones. So it'll be a good time out there. And then we get to celebrate at least one more time because our home record last year was no joke. Well, let's keep that thing going.
The only thing is, I'm trying to get my my victory steak. That's what I'm trying to get. So got to keep the trend going. So, but hey, I had the music playing in the background, and I always tell you, lets me know we're bringing another episode of the DMV Mess Hall to a close. I thank you guys for listening. And before we go, shout out to Rick Snyder and his family. You know, as we know, Rick played an integral part with us, as well as the other podcasts and making appearances on different news shows. Shout out to him and say a prayer for his family.
Definitely, man. We're going to miss you, Rick. Thank you for joining us on the show and helping out a lot behind the scenes with different stuff, man.
Yep. So, as I always say, we got 3 days in a wake up, and it's going to be on. And we rep the burgundy and gold. Remember, you rep it hard, or you don't rep it at all. Rally Captain Tailgate Ted. We'll see you at Northwest Stadium on Sunday.